Welcome to Get More Happy. We invite you to journey with us as we find ways, big and small, to get more happy in your life.
Hey everybody, it's Haley. I'm back with another tidbit on how to keep yourself happy and healthy and safe during quarantine. I am obviously in a very different location today. I'm outside, and that's because I'm going to be talking to you guys about how important it is to get outside during this time. So I felt like the only fitting place to do that podcast or that vlog was outside. So I'm on my patio. I have my little plants here. They're kind of dying, but that's okay. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about how important it can be to get outside. So there are lots of different reasons that it's important to get outside during this time. And obviously all of this has to be done within, guidelines and CDC suggestions and things like that. So I'm not in any way suggesting that you don't follow the guidance of the scientists and the politicians who are trying to keep us safe during this time. But there are lots of ways that you can get outside and still be in line with all the guidelines. You can do things like go on walks, go for exercises, go exercise. You can exercise at your local parks. You can walk your dogs. And you are always allowed to sit outside of your house, your apartment. I'm sitting on my balcony, and I spent a little bit of time the other day out here doing chalk. So that was really fun. And it was a great way to stay outside. And so some of the reasons that being outside are really important for your mental health is that it gets you out exposed to the sunlight, which for me is really important. That's one of the reasons that at the beginning of this thing, I told you guys I set my schedule to wake up early in the morning and go to sleep relatively early at night, is because being awake during sunlight hours helps me to keep my pattern in check, and it also helps me to have a better mood. So seeing the sunlight and seeing, the blue sky and things like that helps me to maintain a better mood just because it makes me happy, just because I like the sun. So that's one way that this can be helpful for you. Another way is that it enables you to do exercise and sometimes to even see people from, more than 6 feet away. But to get outside and realize that your whole world isn't necessarily within the four walls of your house, which is really nice. And then another thing is vitamin D. So vitamin D is something that our body produces from the sunlight. So when we are out in the sun, our body will produce vitamin D. And it's not really something you can get a whole lot of other ways. And vitamin D is really important for your body to run. So there are all sorts of different health problems that can come with a vitamin D deficiency, so having too little vitamin D. And so honestly, getting outside and just literally being in the sun can physically help you to feel better. It can help you to heal from sicknesses better, and it can help you to maintain a much better attitude and disposition towards life. So after going over some of the reasons that getting outside is really helpful and important for me and can be important for you, I am going to go over some of the ways that I like to get outside during the day to maybe give you guys some tips and tricks and ideas on what you can do to be getting some vitamin D during this time. So obviously it's a little chilly outside today, hence why I'm covered in a blanket. But on really warm days, it can be really fun or cold days, depending on your exercising, it can be fun to exercise outside. So on days like this, I would go run outside. On really warm days, I would maybe do yoga outside. If you're a reader, reading outside can be really fun. And that can be a great way to get some, outside exposure. Like I said earlier, I chalked earlier this week. So I sat out here on the patio and drew flowers and jellyfish and things just for fun. And that can be a great way to get creative and get outside. So that's two different things that we've suggested that you can kind of pull in together. Also, if you have kiddos, that can be a really great way to keep them outside and get them some vitamin D, get you some vitamin D, get you some outside time, but also to keep them kind of relatively contained, because I know that it can probably be pretty challenging to have kiddos outside and them not be wandering down the streets. I know I used to do that as a kid. So chalk is a good way to keep people relatively in one area, but still being outside and getting to have some fun outside. And then another thing that I like to do is just to walk. So not necessarily an exercise walk, but just to like go somewhere. So I will go like walk towards the park that I used to go exercise at, or I've been walking across campus. And so I'll like my campus is like a block that way. Um, and I will go walk across campus, go to the river, pick up some pretty sticks, and then bring them back and do art with them. So that's been really fun for me, is just like the whole walking aspect, and then getting to pick my sticks that I want, and then, creating something out of it. And that's been a really good time for me. I also like to play ukulele out here because it echoes really nicely off my balcony. So I really like that. It's really fun. Obviously, I don't do that in the middle of the night when people are sleeping, but during the day to get some sunlight and be outside. So I hope those tips and tricks are helpful for you guys. And I hope you guys keep having an awesome week and check back in more for more content later.